I recently came home after a short trip to find out that my neighborhood had redecorated. As someone who worked in sales for too many years, trust me, I understand the power of repeatedly showing something over and over and over in someone's face using catchy phrases and pretty colors, essentially with the goal of brainwashing them into loving it. Oh, I know this power well, don't I, Felix? Every morning, every night I greet you, and you greet me with a stare. Where I come from, when it's voting season, people show their support for their favorite corrupt politician by putting a sign in their front yard or window. Here in Germany, the political parties themselves hang their posters or little billboards up all around town. And as an immigrant myself, and having many friends who are immigrants, some of which who sought asylum here in Germany, they were literally running for their lives from war. It makes me angry when right-leaning political types who are anti-immigrant and flat-out racist feel comfortable enough to hang their garbage around here. Quite honestly, it makes me so angry that I want to destroy. But I can't. Not just because I'm getting older with disabilities, but I live in a democracy, and I respect everybody's right to speak their opinion. And that's why I took a chance on personal growth, on adulting, if you will. And instead of giving in to my anarchist desires, I took a chance and contacted a local politician. And let me tell you, I was really shocked at the fast response I got. I was really surprised, like shocked and awed at not just the quick response I got, but the kind human that greeted me bearing gifts. I'm just saying, in this day and age, it's not so often that you hear somebody boast about seeking out a local politician for help, and getting that help almost immediately. Nope, can't say I hear that too often. You see, I moved to Germany in 2001, and this particular political party that I contacted has existed since 2004. And I'll tell you, every time that I see their posters, they catch my eye. They catch my eye first off and foremost, because quite often they are hilarious. But they catch my eye because they often poke fun also at parties that perhaps take themselves too seriously. This is all just my private opinion, but also as a foreigner in Germany, I repeat with many friends that are also foreigners, I like the mix of names and people that I see within their party often. And I kind of wish I knew more about them. I mean, any of you that have been watching me now for some time know that I am very interested in politics. And hopefully you all also realize that I love and appreciate a good sense of humor. So I feel really lucky today to share with you just a quick little interview that I got to do with a very special member of the community, a Mr. Bastian Hoff of Die Partei Mönchengladbach. Thank you, Bastian Hoff, first chairman of Die Partei Mönchengladbach. Thank you for joining me today, sir.
It's a pleasure.
I'd like to begin with asking you how long you've been sort of involved in politics and why Die Partei?
I was always interested in politics, and there were always points that made me angry. Things I think, oh, why can't anyone do it better? And then one day I thought, well, there's nothing you can do with just complaining about it. You have to do it yourself. There's no one doing it for you. So I started informing myself about the different parties we have here. And I thought about SPD, but they're not what they used to be. Die Linke, they're kind of too socialism for me, in my opinion. And then I found Die Partei. And first I was confused because what they demand was were things you're thinking about can't be sure. We can't be sure with that. Then I started to think, and I understand that is right the point they want to reach. They want you to think about points with a kind of humor, with satire.
Yeah.
And that was the way I could relate it to, and so I joined the Partei.
Fantastic. And I believe we have coming up here in Mönchengladbach a vote for the next Bürgermeister.
Yes.
The mayor. Who is your candidate?
It's something special because we have the only female candidate who's not right-winged.
Oh, really?
Yes, because there are two more female candidates, but the one is AfD, so fascists hiding behind democracy, or NPD, Nazis who are dumb enough to say they are Nazis.
Yesterday, I noticed a post on Facebook where it appeared that you were possibly helping the enemy. Maybe not necessarily the enemy, I'm being a little over dramatic, but you are with Die Partei, and I saw that you were assisting, I believe it was the Linke.
Yes.
What happened there?
At least, first, they're not enemies.
Okay.
Yes, there's a little rivalry, of course, because of the mayor voting, but at least there was vandalism here in Mönchengladbach, not political, against Die Linke, but it was homophobic.
Okay.
Because the mayor candidate of Die Linke is gay, and there's a poster of him where he is kissing another man.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
It's a sweet poster.
Yeah, everyone should love who he wants to. So, and there were people really targeting these posters, destroying them, put them away, and then we thought that's not the way. That's just wrong. So we helped him and the Die Linke to put the posters back to their places because it belongs to our society.
Absolutely. Sehr good. Sehr good. My next question is Reit Hauptbahnhof. What the fuck?
Well, you know, we just keep it for the Guinness Book of World Records because in Germany we are the only town with 2 Hauptbahnhof.
Interesting. Recently, I saw on Facebook on an AfD post where the AfD referred to places like Platz der Republik, Europaplatz, and Marienplatz as Drogen hotspots.
Well, that's kind of strange because they're my favorite places here in Mönchengladbach.
And that is a coincidence because my next question was going to be, what are your 3 favorite places in Mönchengladbach?
You see?
This interview is going smooth. Sehr good. So, Bastian, the questions are going to get much more difficult now.
Okay.
This city has some issues, namely, for example, bike paths that are a nightmare, damaged roads. I mean, we've got people talking about kids going back to school. There's a lot of things going on in Mönchengladbach here. It seems like a lot to tackle. How's Die Partei going to tackle the variety of issues in this big town?
Well, you know, everything comes down to money. So our plan is we want to separate the city of Mönchengladbach and Reit by a big wall. And we're gonna make Cologne pay for it.
Oh.
That's very important. And so then we can take the money from the taxes, put it into Reit first, because I'm from Reit, so that's the first place to be. And then when Reit is beautiful and everyone wants to live there, we can put some money into Mönchengladbach too.
So just to recap, you're going to build a wall.
Yes, and we make Cologne pay for it.
And Cologne will pay for
Yes.
it. They're good. Alright, so it was the posters of Die Partei that first caught my attention, and I became aware that I'm not the only one that is a fan of your posters here, which makes me really curious. Who comes up with this stuff? Where does it come from? Who comes up with this?
Well, you know, the posters are mostly group creations. Because everyone of us sometimes have a good idea, but not everyone has the skill to do it with graphics. So we put it into our group, and someone with the skills in graphic makes something looking good.
Yeah.
And sometimes we use posters of other groups of the Partei from North Rhine-Westphalia, or even from complete Germany, because now there are at least every big city is now a group of Die Partei.
Yes.
And the most beautiful thing is, because there are so many fans, we have to remove the posters after the election. But because there are so many fans, we don't have to do much of work, because most people took them and put them into their living room or something like that.
I can relate. Sebastian, is there anything that you in particular would like to say to the world or to Mönchengladbach?
Of course, there's always something to say, at least for a politician. So I think most important things are read our program, because it's on our homepage. Have some fun in politics, put some fun in politics, because politics is something everyone can do.
I will put a link to that in the description below this video. Make sure to check it out. Well, Mr. Hoff, or Herr Hoff, if I may, I want to thank you very much for coming over and answering my silly little questions today, teaching us all a little bit about Die Partei. I also want to thank you for the good work that you do in our town, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have to say, after this little interview, I can only say things like, Die Partei is sehr good. And I think I can't forget to say, take care of yourself.